Um, Congratulations on that, Helen, on that situation. Anybody else with some good news?
Anytime I'm seeing you, James, that's good news.
Absolutely, man. The man of the hour. Just talk in.
Late, guys. I was handling one of my kids, my second oldest, my son. He got COVID. Apparently, got told yesterday that he has it, and then last night he was saying he was struggling breathing. He lives about an hour and a half from us, so we drove at 1 a.m. to his place. Got there at 2:30. I got home about 4:45 this morning, so I was running late today with my other crap. So then, sure enough, I get on the phone with my wife with that, and I'm like, listen, I got to get on this Zoom. I got to go. And she's like, I just have one more thing to tell you. I'm like, oh God. So guys, it was a family thing, and I'm so sorry, and I apologize for the delay, but that's what it was about. So I had to finish that. I apologize.
Nah, no problem, man. That's understandable. Definitely understandable. So basically what we were doing, Curt, is we're just, getting some wins, some good news, and people just kind of sharing about some of their closings, some of their listings, a little bit about what happened in Vegas as well. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Hey, what happens in Vegas, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no, this is stuff we share. I forgot. That's right. No, this is the good stuff. Yeah, this is the movie crap. This is the stuff that we're supposed to come back and share with you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it over. I know when to shut up. When you get somebody that is good in the room, and Curtis, for y'all that don't know, he runs Mark Z's team, and just all around great guy, willing to share and give information. He's a big reason why Mark Z is what he is right now. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to overspeak, but you took the business, when you came on board, to the next level when you came through. So I know that's kind of what we kind of talked about. But yeah, man, I just appreciate you being on and just kind of sharing, man. So I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Well, hey guys, hey everybody. I'm Curt Shewell, and yes, I run the Mark Z Real Estate Expert Selling Team. So if you looked up Mark Z Real Estate Experts, you'll see a little bit about us and what we do and all the things that we do. When I'll give you a quick little background. James and I were talking about, and I hope some of this gives a little value to you guys today. And again, you can ask me any question you want, but just from our team, what we were able to do was we took our team. Mark was at Keller Williams. He was a mega team at Keller Williams, and I had my own independent brokerage. So I had two partners, and Mark had this team that he was drawing. We had 12 agents on his team, and him and I had known each other for about 10 years in the business, crossing paths and such. So we had talked a few times here and there and do different things. Well, what Mark was great at is Mark's a great marketer. So he's great at marketing, and obviously he was a good sales guy because he could sell a bunch of homes. So he built his business over a lot of years, and he became the guy in town known as Mark Z, the real estate guy. So in Metro Detroit, he's the #1 name in real estate in Metro Detroit. So everybody knows who Mark Z, the real estate guy, is. And that's kind of how it came about. So the first time he ever called me and he reached out to talk to me, he wanted to collaborate with me. And I thought, wow, this is really wild. This guy's the real estate guy, and he's reaching out to me to talk. So that's how we became acquaintances. And then over the years, we became friends. And he called me one day and he says, I would always talk to him about my business. I was talking about my brokerage. I was talking about what I was doing. And I had built my brokerage. I had recruited 142 agents to my brokerage. I sold the first franchise off. So we had 2 locations, and I had 1 franchisee, and we were trying to build that type of structured model. So I knew how to do that model. It was really, if you will, it was kind of based upon mostly Keller Williams type model, because we had a profit share model. And profit share, of course, as you know, just means that it's a great carrot to dangle that, hey, just think what if, but there's really no money to give. And what I found from doing that was not that you're not a bad person. You're not trying to hurt nobody. You're not trying to deceive anybody. You're not lying to anybody. Because in theory, if you make a bunch of money, you'd be able to say, hey, we're going to allocate this much money over to paying it back to you guys. And that would just help build on the business. It's no different than taking money and reinvesting it in yourselves. And I don't know how much money any of you invest in yourselves, but if you're going to invest in anything, what's the best bet you have? Well, the best bet you have should be you. That should be the best thing that you ever put your money and your stock into, is it should be you, right? And the most valuable asset you have should be your time, right? Because your time is your money. And I literally take what I make in a year. And if I just take from this last year, this was kind of a cool exercise that I've done with not only our team, but I did this yesterday. I was doing a business planning class for another group. They asked me to come and do this thing, which is kind of funny because that's certainly not my best forte of a skill set, but we did pretty well with it, and it worked out well. But I did the exercise with them. I said, okay, guys, we know there's 52 weeks in a year, right? So you can average this out. And you can all agree that you probably take a couple of weeks off throughout the year, or a few days here, there, and there. That equals a couple of weeks if you don't literally take a couple of weeks off in your business. So if you figured at 50, well, take 50 times 40 hours a week times 50 weeks, you got 2,000 hours, right? So we can all do this math pretty easy. Write down on a piece of paper or whatever you got in front of you, or even your phone or your calculator. You just take what you know you made last year, the last 12 months, or even this year so far, right? And divide it by the 2,000 hours. That tells you how much you make an hour. And you might be shocked by that number. Either it's a lot lower than you thought, or it's a lot bigger than you thought. Now, I'm going to share this with you. And I see a couple of great faces on here, right? Some of our buddies that I love talking to you guys, and you guys are pretty awesome peeps. So thank you guys for being down here as well. But, you know, mine's $1,500 an hour, right? $1,531. And I think about that because Mark Z made me think about that, because he thinks at a much higher level than I think. He thinks on a much bigger business scale than I think. So now what happens is, you hang out with this guy long enough, I work with this guy long enough, all of a sudden I start thinking like this guy. I start acting like this guy. I start talking like this guy. My mind goes to the right places. Well, think about that. If I'm making $1,500 an hour, that's sick. I mean, that's insane, right? That's nuts. So if I am, then what does that really equate to? Well, if I'm going to spend an hour doing something, it better have a financial return of $1,500 on it, or else I'm losing money. If it has a return of above that, I know I'm making money. So if yours is, let's just play this out. If yours is $50 an hour, then what you're doing should make you more than $50 an hour, because what we found is, I find a whole lot of real estate agents. If I asked you right now, how many of you guys are really busy? And for the handful of you that got your cameras on, I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are all busy, right? Well, then ask yourself, are you busy or are you productive? Because we're all busy, but are you busy spinning your wheels? Because we're either doing one of two things. Either we're seeking support or we're giving it, but neither one of those make you money. So how much of that busy time is doing those two things? And unfortunately, it eats up a lot of your time. So you have to start saying, wait a minute, I have to stop doing that busy work and start being productive. Being productive means you're busy as hell. Trust me, you're going to be busy, crazy busy, but you have to start thinking in the fence, the side of, I'm going to be really busy being productive, making money. And you can equate it because you can literally put it on paper. Did that hour work towards generating me X dollars? And if it's my $100 an hour, or my $50 an hour, or my $20 an hour, or my $1,000 an hour, is what you did working towards that, right? Because there's busy work that makes you no money and it costs you time. Your time is your biggest asset you have. How many of you guys have all heard in your life, right? Time is money, right? Everybody tells you that crap, right? Well, the truth is it's true, but what does it really mean? Did anybody ever explain it to you? And to be honest with you, until I met Mark Z, I never had it explained to me in a way that it really clicked in my head. Now, a lot of you are a lot smarter than me, and I already know some of you, and I know you are. So that part should be easy because you guys can figure this out. But it took me a long time to figure it out because I needed to see it. I'm one of these weird people, right? If I don't see it, I struggle with it, right? And I really struggle to get there if I can't see it. But if I can see it, now it makes sense to me. Now I can do it. So I have to see things in order to do that. And then what we were able to do with our team was, when I was able to get Mark to see things that he didn't see, he can run with it like crazy because he thinks so much higher level than I do, and honestly than most people I know do. So it takes you to a whole nother level. So what we were able to do is take our team from 12 agents up to 84 agents right now on our team. And then what we call family, which are all the agents that I recruit that are not on our team. So I recruit two sides, right? I recruit to Mark and I recruit to me, right? So we stacked ourselves that way. So we have a business agreement, an operating agreement between the two of us. So what I do is I was recruiting agents and I have them under Mark, and then I recruited agents under myself. So I have, I think as of this morning, 2019 agents under me total. Mark has, guess what? 84 agents that are not under me. Those are the 84 that I put on the team, right? So I put them on the team, those are under him. If I don't put them on the team, they go under me if I believe that they're influencers or they're going to potentially grow. He has the agents that we know are just looking to try to sell another house, because there's two different things. How many agents on here would be happy to sell if you could sell one more house a month? Some of you? Okay. I got some nodding heads, right? Okay. So if you could sell one more house a month and I could show you how to do that, would that be a good use of your time? Right? Would that be worth an hour anyway? Right? Or maybe every morning, half an hour to get your head right and get you tuned up, get you practicing, right? Because I do that every single morning for my agents, Monday through Thursday, from 7:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock a.m. I have them on a role play call. And people are like, what? Yeah, it's a coaching call. And all we do is we role play different objections for getting listings. Because how many of you do listings? Okay. How many of you just do buyers only? Couple? Okay. So if you get listings, for every listing, you should get 2 buyers, right? One that buys the house, just price it anywhere remotely close to where it should be, right? For every location, there's a condition. For every condition, there's a price. So price the house accordingly, keep it where it should be, roughly in the area it should be. If you're even close, it's going to sell. So that'll be one. You'll sell the house, but then you're also going to get another buyer for that house every single time. If you're not, then you're not doing it right. So that's your rule of thumb in your head. If I'm not getting 2 for my 1, then I didn't do something right. You guys follow me on that? So that's how you start thinking. Because if you do, you just added, if I can add you 1 listing a month, that's all I have to add you. 1 listing a month, I just got you 3 deals, right? I got you the listing that's going to sell with you. They're probably going to buy with you. And then I got you 2 buyers, one that's buying that house. So that's that same deal. But you got 2 sides of that transaction. That's 2 deals in 1. I got the seller and I got the buyer. I got paid twice on that same deal. And I've got 1 more buyer from that. So that's how you have to start thinking. I can teach you to double your business like that if you just think about it the right way and you start taking your business and driving it the right way. What are you trying to do? Well, I'm just chasing any lead I have. Okay, first thing I want to teach you is live in the 90s. 90s are the 90 percentile, not the generation of the 90s and the big hair and the grunge music and all that crap. Not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 90% of the people are normal. 90% of the people want the same thing you want. 90% of the people want the same things, like the same things, dislike the same things. It's a fact. Live in the 90s. If you watch TV and you watch these news channels, that's your 10 percenters. That's the 10% over here and the 10% that's over there. Please don't listen to them. Find your shit in the middle that actually is where the rest of us live, because we're all here, right? Your clients want you to sell them a house. Your clients want you to help them buy a house, but everyone wants to buy. No one wants to be sold. So stop selling. So the first thing I want to teach you is, and James wants to teach you, stop selling, right? Dan, stop selling, please. Stop selling. Start helping. Now, I know you already do it because you're a servant giver to begin with. That's just how you are. So I know you. So I know that's what you do because I got to meet you over the last few years. And that's the way you are, right? So if you look at that, you're going to see a big difference. And this is how this thing goes. So stop selling. Everyone wants to buy. No one wants to be sold. Neither do you, because you're normal. But yet at the same time, if somebody helps you, it's going to help, right? Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So put that into action. These are great little sayings, and that's kind of cool, and that's a neat little line, Curt, but put it into action. Make that count for you. Make it matter. Now you'll make money, right? How many of you guys in your life have said something like my dad every single day of my life? Got to work smarter, not harder, son. Work smarter, not harder. How many people were told that in your life at some point? Every single person, probably, yes? Okay. Did anybody ever actually tell you what it meant? And let me give you an example. I was 9 years old. I had a paper route. My dad told me, that's awesome. right? I made my about $31 a week, and which made me like a rock star in like junior high. I was like, shit, right? So I could go to the vending machine and buy a Suzy Q. That was my thing. Every day I bought Suzy Qs, little apple pies, and I could buy a pop. It was like, I was the shiz. So that was really cool because I had 30 bucks. Well, my dad said, if you really want to do this, son, you got to start working smarter, not harder. I'm like, yeah, talk to me, Dad, because I'm hustling my ass off, right? I got to ride my bike. I got to get the papers. I got to put them in the saddlebags. I got to ride up and down the streets, run up and down these houses, put the papers in the mailboxes. For all you young people, we used to have newspapers. We actually delivered them by hand. That's what we really did. Some of you are like, what is he talking about? That's what we did, okay? So when that happened, my dad told me, start working smarter. I said, all right, great, I'm in. How do I do it? He said, instead of having one paper route, get two. Now you, instead of having 3 streets, you've got 6. Well, I work twice as much, twice as hard. That was not working smarter. That was working a hell of a lot harder, not smarter. And you know what he said? Look at that, son. Now you're making almost 60 bucks a week. I'm like, Dad, I'm freaking dying. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning delivering gosh damn newspapers to get home to shower so I could get up and go to school. This sucks. I hated it, but I made more money. Well, all I did was I exchanged time for money, right? That's all I did. I worked twice as hard, and yeah, I got rewarded the same amount of money. I didn't work any smarter. All I did was work harder and harder and harder. That's all I did. And then my dad taught me as I got older, I had a car I could drive. All right, son, now you got it. You got the paper out in the morning. You got 2 of those. Go get yourself a part-time job too. So I started selling shoes. Hell yeah, I'm at the mall selling shoes, working 2 paper routes. Now I got 3 freaking jobs. At any point, was any of this smarter? No. So my dad was giving me horrific advice, and my dad loves me more than anyone on the planet, right? He wanted me to do well, but he knew what he did teach me was a good work ethic, right? He taught me that I can do anything I want to do if I just work hard enough to do it. But he didn't teach me the core component. He didn't teach me that if I help enough people get what they want, that I'll get everything I want. And you hear that through EXP a lot. So this is not a line that I created or I'm so smart, I'm not. I copied this line because it really actually spells it out for you. It really lays it out, because the truth is I was working harder, not smarter. I was wasting my time. I was doing all the wrong things, but I was getting paid, sure. But I exchanged my time for money, and a lot of you are doing the same thing. If you want to double your business in the same amount of time, go pick up 1 listing a month. That'll get you 2 extra deals out of that. You get that one plus 2. You just went from writing 1 deal a month to 3. Just to 3 by getting 1 listing. If you can do that, it'll change your real estate career, guys, because you already have these people chasing you all over the place. If you have the listings, right? What's easier? Well, let me put it this way. How many of you can put more than 1 buyer in your car at a time? No one. We can only take out 1 person at a time, guys, right? I've had agents say, well, I can do 2 or 3. I'm like, really? You take 3 families, put them in your car and say, okay, guys, we're all going to drive here in the Smiths. We're going to look at their houses first, and the Joneses and the Thomases. You guys can just follow along and tag along and watch. And then we'll go to their houses. You guys watch. No, it's 1 client at a time. That's all you can handle a buyer is 1 at a time. A buyer, and if you can keep this in your head or write it down or whatever you guys are doing, it takes 22 hours on average to close 1 buyer, start to finish. From the day you first talk to the first conversation, it's 22 hours of time to get them to the closing. 22 hours. That's the average it takes for a buyer, right? So if you think about that, right, and really quickly, just in case some of you are confused on that, let me break it down really fast. Think about it. First consultation, you talk to them on the phone. An average good phone call is 7 minutes long, 7.5 minutes. So if I'm on 7 to 8 minutes on that call, it's a good call that I got this person saying, okay, I want to work with you. I'm looking to buy a house. I'm looking here, I'm looking there, yada, yada. You're asking all the right questions. Where do you live now? How long have you been there? So what exactly we're trying to do with this? So you get your motivations, right? So we have all the questions. I teach this, and this is what I teach all my agents on what are the questions asked. That's your script, right? Please be scripted, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But so have your questions. That's all the script is the right questions. If you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. You ask the wrong questions, like what their favorite freaking color is, you're going to get what their favorite freaking color is, which does no good in your business, and you're wasting time. Time is money. Now you're costing yourself money because you're asking the wrong questions. So ask the right questions, get these people. So your first phone call is going to be between 7 and 8 minutes. So there you have that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to start going in searches. You're going to start looking for houses. You're going to start setting the appointments. You're going to start setting the appointments in the calendars so you can go out and show these houses, look at these houses. And you might even call an agent or 2 to find out what's the skinny on this house or that house. All right, now you got a half hour because that's only another 15, 20 minutes. Well, if you go back and forth on that, it's going to take you about somewhere around 19 to 21 minutes. So you got 1 hour tied into this right now before you've actually took them out and showed them a house. So if it's within a 20 to 30 minute drive, you got 20 minutes into that drive, maybe 30, 20 to 30, they're 20 to 30 back. So you got 40 to 1 hour there. So now you're an hour 40 or 2 hours into this already. That's just with that piece. Now we show a house. If you're doing a house and you're showing it right, and I teach this with my agents, I literally take them out in the field and show them how to actually present and sell a house. So you can start closing at 85%. Because again, I want to reduce that time down. I want to take that 22 hours to my agents. I'm going to bring that down to somewhere around 16 and a half to 17 hours. If I can get you 5 hours back on every single buyer you get, right? If I can get you 5 hours back, think about it, right? All I got to do is get you 5 hours back on 8 different buyers throughout the year. I just got you a full week's worth of time. It's 40 hours. So you understand the math on this? Your time is money. 40 hours equals how much dollars to you? How much did you say your money was worth? Look at that paper where you wrote it down. Was it 50 bucks an hour, 100 bucks an hour, 20 bucks an hour, 2,000 bucks an hour, whatever it was? I just gave you that money right back because now you got that time to do exactly what you're supposed to do. So now when you start looking at that and then you go back out and show another house, you show them 2 houses, 3 houses. Okay, you got 2 hours tied in there, 3 hours here, an hour here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here. You got 4 hours in. Now you go through the whole thing. And the perfect client, a perfect scenario. They buy the first house, you show it to them. You still got to call the other agent, go back, negotiate back and forth, call your client back, tell them, putting the offer in, send the offer in, call them up, go through that, put the paperwork in to do this stuff. Well, now you're getting another 20 minutes, half an hour. Now it's an hour. Now you're back and forth. They accepted the offer. So in a perfect scenario, you're still sitting around 13, 14 hours of time by the time you do inspections, closings, the whole shop. That's on a perfect deal. So start understanding your time. Now, with that same timeline, same mentality that I'm doing amazing at 16 hours, or my average is 22 hours per buyer, how many listings can you have at the same time? We already agreed we can only have one buyer out in the field with us at a time. How many buyers, how many sellers can you have at a time? How many listings can be sitting out there for you? Can you do 10, 20, 30, 50? Sure. Because all you're doing now is fielding the calls that are coming in on it. Even if you touch your client, think about this. If I touch my client once a week, and I've got 50 listings out there, we'll do the math, right? And I have a 3.5, 4 minute conversation just checking up with them. Most of them aren't going to answer the phone anyway and use leave a message or whatever have you. You do that in less than 2 minutes. However, if I do that on an average of 4 minutes, just follow up conversation, just saying, hey, just want to let you know, here's we got activity, here's what we're doing, here's what we're doing this. We're going to start doing some marketing, we're maybe do a price adjustment, whatever it may be, blah, blah, blah. Think about it. It's an average of 4 minutes per call. It's 20 hours. But the other time, all I'm doing is negotiating these deals coming in. So I could literally conceivably go through 50 listings at a time, and I can do all that in a month. Now, no one's closing 50 in a month by yourself. We do that on our team. So I know exactly how many hours it takes and how much manpower it takes. Right. So we're selling just over 100 transactions a month. And then closings, we end up we're going to have, I think, 81 closings this month. So this is the type of numbers that we're doing. So we have all this broken down. So I know exactly what it takes. I know how much time it takes. So I can break that down so I can show my agents how to make more money. This is how we can teach you how to double your money in the same amount of time that you're working now. Or make the same amount of money in half the time. Because you can do it either way. Math works either way you want to do it. Does any of this make any sense? Are you following me, or am I just having you guys going, who is this guy? What the hell is he talking about?
It makes a lot of sense to me. I really like the way that you're talking about the numbers for your team and your time, because time is money. I actually am struggling with people only want to work in my sphere, only wanting to work with me. And I'm trying to I do have a self-organized team now with EXP, and I'm trying to filter business to them, but I don't know how to pivot and give those people that only want to work with Mika to my team. How do you think I can do that? Okay,
pretty simple. What you want to do is you want to delegate the things that are the time sucks versus the things that are just making money. Now, the time is still going to be money, but if I can leverage myself, right? Again, this is all about leverage. So for you, my dear, first thing you want to do, how many people you have on your little self-organized team?
Including me is 3.
Okay, so you plus 2 others, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the other 2 are looking for you for leads, looking for you for advice, looking for you for help, looking for your guidance, correct? That's why they're with you. Okay, so if that's the case, beautiful. If I have a seller that also wants to buy, right? So if I got a seller and they also want to buy, I'm going to tell them, great, you're always going to have me. Now, having me could also mean that you have one of my partners showing you some houses. Okay. Now, what you need to do, first thing you need to do is get those two and take their asses out and show them how to actually sell a house, how to present a house, how to show us. You sell from the outside in, guys. You sell community, neighborhood, street, house. This is going to increase your sales. It'll have you closing at about 85%. You should close all your buyers at 85%. I'm never going to show them a house they cannot buy, so stop doing that. That will save you a ton of time. You understand me on that? Stop showing them houses they cannot buy. And I don't know that all of you understand what that means, because when I do my boot camp trainings, most of the agents are looking at me like I got three eyes when I say that. They're like, what do you mean? They can buy any house. How do you know if they're going to buy it? Does all you feel that way? That's pretty much what I get from most of my agents all the time when we do this. And then here's the exercise. When I take you out to show you a house, before I ever go out to the house, I'm going to ask the people, right? You guys do basic stuff. You're going to ask them, you know, what type of house they're looking for and so on and so on. If they said, hey, I cannot do stairs, I have to have a ranch house. And they say, well, here's the 11 houses I want to see. They send you the list, 11 houses. And 6 of those 11, guess what? Have their colonials, and they have houses, they have stairs, and they have bedrooms upstairs in these houses. Well, you already know that they cannot do that. Well, what that means is one of two things. Either one, something's changed, and now they're okay with that. Or two, no, they just don't get it, and the house looks really pretty, so they send it to you on the list. Well, that's a waste of your freaking time, right? So the first thing you need to do is say, listen, I want to make sure we're clear. The first thing, you know, that you told me that, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page here, because when you sent me, you know, what you told me when we met the first time versus what you sent me, Andre, was that, hey, these things came different, because now you're looking and saying you want to see houses with stairs. You told me that you cannot do stairs. That was an absolute deal breaker. No, can't do stairs. So has that changed? Or can we do stairs now? What's the thing? Are we still where we were? We cannot do stairs. Oh, no, I can't have any stairs. Okay, great. Just so you know, Andre, just so you know, it was really great. I looked at the list of houses. These are very beautiful. But here's number 6, number 7, number 8, number 12, and number 14 that you sent me. But guess what? Those ones actually have stairs. We're going to eliminate those right now, because those are the ones you cannot buy no matter what. Is that correct? Yes, great. Okay, boom. You just eliminated half the gosh damn list that they sent you. Or they need a white picket fence, or they need a fence, or they want no fence, or it has to have a pool, or it cannot have a pool. Right? These are basic things that if you're asking the right questions at the very beginning of your conversation with your buyer, you're eliminating half the shit they send you that they say they want to see. Right? And then here's what happens. I mean, some of you are probably looking at me right now going, this guy's out of his mind. I'm going to tell you the truth. You have got to start owning your business and be a professional. And what I mean by that, and I'm not trying to be insultive, what I'm saying is you need to start helping your client for real. If your client absolutely cannot have this, will not have this, does not want this, stop showing them shit that has it. Because all you're doing is confusing them, making them think, well, maybe I could, maybe I should. No, this isn't what I want. You're giving them a horrible experience. You're not giving them the Disneyland experience, which is what you promised them you were going to do. So start eliminating the stuff based on what they told you and repeat it back to them. If you say it to them 3 times, it's their decision, not your decision. You'll do fine with your buyers, and you will eliminate all this crap. So you, my dear, need to take these 2 agents you have and teach them what community, neighborhood, street, house means. And what that means, guys, really in short, I'm gonna say this really fast because I do a whole class on it. Get videos on it. You can watch all this stuff if you're interested in it. So it makes it easier when I go in very much more detail. But community is, I need to be in these schools, or I need to live in this city, or I need this zip code, or I have to be here, I have to be there. Doesn't matter. You know, it has to be this. Okay, great. Because there are people like that. You deal with a ton of them, correct? Some of you, yes, right? You deal with these people. Okay, great. So that's the community piece. Or I just need safety. I need an area with no crime. I need an area with a whole bunch of families. I don't want an area with kids. I want this, I want that. People say these things to you. Now, regardless of what you can and cannot say legally by your license, they're telling you what they do and don't want. That makes it very easy for you to filter in. Now, again, be very careful of how you say things, because you guys, I got to teach you to stop saying anything. What I mean by that is excuse me, you say nothing, you ask everything. For me to tell somebody, I'm going to tell them a lot of information, but I'm going to do it in the form of a question. 2 things happen. 1, I get my point across and I find out from them what I want to know. And 2, I keep control of the conversation. That way it doesn't go rogue and I'm all over the gosh damn place. Because the truth is they don't give a shit about their little Johnny that plays soccer, and I've got a little Johnny that plays soccer, and oh my God, we're soccer moms together, and isn't this wonderful? Like, oh my God, I make a Rice Krispie treats on mine, and oh my God, you do the one thing, oh, you do the thing with a little fruit play, oh my God, you put them on the skewers, oh my God, isn't that so fun? And I'm that mom, and you're that mom too, and oh my God, we're bonding, we're building rapport. No, you're not. You're wasting freaking time, yours and theirs. Stop it. Stop it. Well, no, they like me now. No, they like it when you bring them value. Start with value. Ask them the right questions. They'll like you a hell of a lot more than if you make the little skewers with the little freaking pieces of fruit on it for the kids at the soccer game. I promise you. Bring value to the table with them, and they'll see you as a professional. You will stand out amongst all the other real estate agents out there. If you just ask all the right questions, you keep asking questions, you're going to win. So my dear, you need to teach those 2 agents you've got how to do that. You need to teach them what the questions are, right? I literally write them out for our agents because that way there's no confusion. I literally take it in our playbook, right? So we have this, we created this thing for years now. And we have a section just for buyers, right? Why? Because buyers are a dime a dozen. And if you know how to close your buyers, you'll get more listings. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. We have this, see the shaded area? Do we shade this on purpose, right? Because to me, all I need to know are these 12 questions. If I get the answers to these 12 questions, I've got the answers to the test. I could probably pass the test. I know what community they want to live in. I know what the neighborhood should or shouldn't look like for them. So when we start doing our searches and looking at these things, boom, it comes right out. We make it really simple. So now the first thing I'm going to ask them when I get to the house to meet them there, first, I'm there first. I always meet them there. I make damn sure. You know why? I need to go inside that house I'm going to take them into and do a 30-second speed racer right through that thing so I know where everything lays out. I know where the kitchen is. I know when you open the front door, what's the first thing you see? If it has stairs, what's the first thing you see when you open the door 90% of the time? Live in the 90s. The staircase is sitting right there. The question is, does it have a volute? Does anybody know what a volute is? No? Okay, you've all seen them a million times. Staircase comes down. At the bottom of the staircase, you have a post, right? Railing comes down to a post. Okay, if the post goes straight down, that's just a post on the staircase coming down, right? It's a railing with a post. If the bottom step has that little railing, does a little swirly thing at the end on one side or on both sides, and the step at the bottom is a little bit wider, that piece, that's called a volute. There's either one side or 2 sides to the volute, okay? It's volute with a V. Know this, you know why? Because when you open the door, they see that. You're gonna open the door. When you show them a house, you're walking into the house and you're opening the door, you hold the door for them because you wanna look at them as they enter the house. You've already run through it really fast. You know what it looks like when you walk in because that's the wow moment right here. This is gonna help you close at 85%. If you're standing in front of them and I'm backing up as I hold the door and let them grab it, let them walk in like you're welcoming them into your/their new home. As you do this, you can see where their eyes immediately go. You can see their facial expression. It's going to give you a massive indication. 77% of all communication is body language. You're getting their body language. I watch agents every single day, and you, my dear, your agents are doing the same shit. They're opening the door saying, okay, go ahead. And they're holding the door for you so they walk in. You have no idea what they're looking at. You don't know where their head went. You don't know where their eyes went. You don't know if they went like, oh my God, wow, right? You missed that whole thing. This is what you're going to use to close them. Anything that they say will be used against them in the court of closing. You're going to close them with their words, not your words, okay? So if you don't have any of their words, you can't close them. Think of it that way. If I'm in front of them and I see what they're looking at, I already know what they're looking at because I already looked at it. So I know if they're looking down here, they're looking at the blue. And something as simple as a volute, when I say to them, what do you think of the staircase? Because I'm stopping them right here. This foyer, the foyer, whatever the hell you want to call it, is a huge, huge selling area right freaking now, because this is the first thing they see when they walk in. Bam. Okay, this is your wow moment. It's either wow good or wow, we're getting the hell out of here. Wow bad. No is your friend. No is a good thing. I need to know if the answer is no way. Great, let's get the hell out of here right now. We're not wasting their time because you're not wasting your time ever, right? So that's so important. And all I would ask them is, what do you think of the staircase? They're like, oh my God, yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my God, look at all the railings and those metal rod things. And oh my God, right? Just know 5 things. I teach all my agents 5 things. So my dear, you're going to teach those 2 showing partners of yours 5 different things that are going to make them sound like a gosh damn genius in a house. That person's going to think they know more about houses than anybody on the planet. All you got to know is 5. And again, it's not what you tell them, it's what you ask them. What do you think of the staircase? They're going to say, wow, it's beautiful. Wow, this is really great. Yeah, do you like the little swirly thing here? Do you like the volute? That's this little swirly thing here. Do you like how the step opens up and it's more grand this way? Do you like that? Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, the volute adds a really nice touch to the house. And you know what you really need to know about that? Is it's a nice upgrade because it's about $2,500 for that added on to your staircase. So you know there's hidden gems in this house, more hidden value. And that's what I'm looking for you. I'm just going to try to find the value for you to make sure that this is a really good buy for you if you decide this is the right one for you. You follow me? That's how you ask. You don't tell them what it is. You ask them if they like how it looks. And when they say yes or they say no, now you know if you're going to go deeper or not. Because if I say, oh, you do great, and I tell them it's called a volute, they're like, it's a what? Sounds like my cousin Vinny movie, right? What's a ute, right? The Youths. Remember that movie? Well, all right, if you're not old enough, sorry, it's an old thing. But anyways, on these things, the volute. If you ask them that, you sound like a gosh damn genius, and they're going to think you know more about houses than anybody. You're like, damn, this girl knows her shit, or this guy knows what he's talking about. All because you knew it was called a volute. You know why? Because no other agent does. 99% of all the agents don't know any of this crap. Okay? Remember the movie? Good. Thank you. I appreciate people that are old like me. All right. So here's the thing, right? So that's one thing. You know the windows, they have the little squares in the windows, the little squares, you know, the little plastic things inside the windows. Those are called mutton bars. Again, when you walk in through the house, when you're standing right there in the foyer, the mutton bars are typically only on the front windows of the house because they're decorative. That's all they are. It's decorative, right? They have no value, no nothing, except when you buy a window that has those in it, it's an upgraded window. So you have to spend more for that window to get them. So guess what you have? Another hidden gem, hidden value in the house. The windows are worth more money. So again, you ask them, how do you like the front windows? Oh, I don't know. They look just fine. Great. Do you like the mutton bars in them? That's those little squares in there that makes it look like those Victorian old mansion style homes. That's the idea. And they put those in there. Do you like that? Oh yeah, yeah, those are cute. I like those. Yeah, mine doesn't have that now. I like those. Great. That's not, again, it's just another little hidden gem. You know why? Because it's worth more money. They upgraded the house. You're asking them right here in the foyer when you're looking at them. Because the backs of the houses that are all built in the last 30 years all have the big windows off the back. Okay, another little tricky little one for you, a little fun one is, see in my office here? See the windows up top above my windows? Right? You guys have all seen those in houses a million times. Right? Everybody know the name of those types of windows, what they're called? They actually have a name. They're not the extra windows. I've had agents and I just shake my head and they're like, oh yeah, this house is great because it has those extra windows. I'm like, oh, the extra ones, yeah. Everybody's got extra windows. What the hell's an extra window? It's stupid. But that's what they say, right? Because they don't know. They're called transom windows. Transom, right? So again, make sure you know just a handful of these things. You're going to sound like a genius to your client, right? And you ask them, oh, do you like the windows above the windows here? Do you like the transom windows? And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, what are those called? Yeah, clients will say all the time, oh, those transom. Now, some do know it. Most don't, right? If they've ever bought windows before for their house and replaced them, then they know what a transom window is. Otherwise, they have no idea. Okay. So when you ask them this and then you say, okay, great. Oh, you do like those? Yeah. One of the nice features of them is that what it does, it allows natural light to come in because typically these are windows that are not blocked, they're not covered up. So it allows natural light into the room, which makes the room look bigger. Do you like it when the room looks bigger? Yes. Everybody does. That's the whole thing, right? So it's an easy question to ask. And now again, you sound like this genius when you're talking. Is this making sense to you guys? Does any of this, do you even care about any of this? A little bit? Kind of okay? Okay, this is the stuff you got to do. So when you're teaching your agents how to show homes, you sell from the outside, you sell community. First thing you got to know is, do you want to live in this community with these schools and these houses and this stuff? Yes, great. Now, when you go into the subdivision, when you get there, so let's go back outside. When I meet the client there, I'm there first so I can run through the house. Now, Curt, what happens if we see in a house and now we drive to the second house and they follow you? We're there at the same time, right? What happens then? No different, same thing. What I tell them is this. If you tell them, they will follow and they will listen to you. All you have to tell them is, okay, folks, tell you what, just like the last house we were at, how did you like the drive-in? And that better be the first question you ask them. What did you think of the drive-in? How did you like to drive into the sub? And if you're showing a house, you damn well better know if there's one entrance, two entrances, 3, 4, 5, 6 to this sub. And find the main entrance. That's the nicest entrance they have to that sub. And I don't care if it's in the back of the sub, and that entrance is in the front. Drive them through the front of the sub. You make them come that way. You tell them to. so they can see the nicest feature of this community that they're moving into this particular neighborhood in that community. You want them coming through that entrance. And the first question you're going to ask them is, how'd you like the drive in? Why are you asking them? Because I want to know what the hell they thought of the shit when they came in. Did you like that big stone feature at the front? Did you like the waterfall? Did you like the lights? Did you like how it's all trees? Do you like how there's no freaking jet? Whatever it is. Did you like it because it's a boulevard entrance? And you need to know what a boulevard entrance is. That's the entrance. It's got an in and an out. It's got an island in the middle as you pull in, and then it typically just goes back to regular road. It splits at the entrance and the exit. So in and out is separate. It's called a boulevard. Again, when you ask them, did you like the boulevard entrance? Again, it shows value for you. It shows that you're like this genius real estate agent because you're calling shit by the right name. Does that make sense? Everybody cool with that? Did you see the theory behind it? Because once you do this, guys, and you show them a house this way, they'll never buy a house with somebody else. They will never ghost you, and they'll never go see a house with someone else. Okay? Because no one else is treating them this way. Nobody's asking them the right questions. And when I ask them, how did you like your drive in? Because here's what I want to know. When they drove in and said, holy shit, are those train tracks I crossed right there? Yes. Is there really a train that comes through here? Yes. Is that a deal breaker for you? You ask them, no is your friend. They're like, oh, hell yeah. No, I'm not living in the suburb. A freaking train comes through back there. No way. Great. Let's get the hell out of here. Now, a lot of agents argue with me at this point. Well, Curt, why wouldn't you show them? Tell them, who knows? Maybe they'll buy it. Okay. Then I would say, ask them the right question again. Is that train a deal breaker? Yes. Is there any way, no matter what this house looks like inside, if it's the freaking Taj Mahal, can you buy this house? And they say no. With that train, no. Great. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go to the next house. Or tell you what, there's no reason to show you something because as your agent, as a professional, I would never show you something you cannot buy. I would never do that to you. Well, we're here. We might as well see it anyway, right? No. If you take them in there, damn it, you know what's going to happen, guys. They're going to see a gosh damn unicorn. They're going to see the one thing that this house has that no other house they're looking at has. And when they see that, they hate you, they hate themselves, they hate their life because all you did was make sure that they'll never buy a house from you now because they want a house with that freaking unicorn in it and you can't find another one that has it. Don't do it. Stop showing them shit that they cannot buy. Right? You pull up, and there's a CVS drugstore behind in the shopping plaza. There's a big wall. There's a Chinese buffet restaurant there with the dumpsters that are up against the wall right behind their house. And there's rats that run across the top of the wall. And they got little dogs and little kids. They're like, I'm not living with that. Great. We're not seeing this house then, are we? No. Stop wasting your and their time. You tell them, I would never waste your time, folks. I'd never show you something you couldn't buy. I would never do that to you. Only a bad agent would do that. I would never do that. Get the hell out of there because you're wasting an hour of your life. You're not going to go waste an hour on a house they can't buy. So stop it. Community, neighborhood, street. So I get them there. How'd you like to drive in? Because I want to know what they thought of that. The second piece, my dear, and I want you to teach your agents this. The second thing you're going to ask them is, what do you think about where the house sits on the street? What are you doing? I'm telling them, look at your damn neighbors. Look at your neighbors' houses. Look at what you see. Because if the house next door has got a car up on blocks and there's a gosh damn tree growing through it, that means it's been there for a long time. It ain't going nowhere. And they say, I ain't living next to that. You need to know that. The problem is they're really polite, nice people. They're not going to say that to you. And you're going to take them in a house and show them this house. They're going to love everything about the house, but they cannot buy it and you can't figure out why. It's because they won't live next door to that house. You need to know. And you need to know now before you ever walk in that house. So if you start teaching your two girls, young lady, you start teaching that these types of concepts, these types of training that you can get them, they're going to close at 85% because 50% of that sale is made from outside before you ever step foot in that house. And if I get to the house at the same time and I want to run inside, I'm going to tell them, what'd you think of the drive-in? How do you like the way the house sits on the street? What do you think of where the house sits on the street? Find that out from them. And then the last question you ask them is going to give you time to go check out the house and leave them here is this. You're going to say, do me a favor. I'm going to go open up the house and I'm going to check it out. Make sure there's no surprises for us. Okay. Make sure it's all set up for us. So I'll be right back. While I do that, I just want you to look at the house and I want you to tell me, is there anything that you would change on the outside of this house? If it's the house, the yard, the landscaping, anything. Is there anything you would change? Okay. I'll be right back. Now you do this because you don't want your girls up there opening a gosh damn lockbox that they can't open and you're freaking fidgeting with it and you're hitting it and you're punching it and you're yelling about it and you're pissed off because you can't open it. Anybody ever went up to a house and couldn't open the gosh damn lockbox? Yeah, I have 1,000,000 times, right? Nothing's worse than your client standing next to you and you're like, it'll just be a second. I got this. You're banging on it. Well, you know how these things are. and you're stumbling, and now you're rushing, and now you're frantic, and now you're freaking out, and your client thinks you're an inept real estate agent because you can't open the goddamn lockbox because it's the wrong freaking code. This is how I keep them at their car. I keep them out front looking at other shit, not me, until I get this goddamn lockbox open. And then I'm gonna run through that house in 30 seconds. All I need to know, where is the basement? If there's a basement, where are the basement stairs at? So I don't go, okay, here's the basement. Oop, that's the pantry. Oh, here's the basement. Nope, that's a closet. Right? Don't look stupid. Okay, stop looking like an agent that doesn't know what they're doing. Run through the house 30 freaking seconds. I need to know where the master bedroom is. I need to know where the kitchen is based on where that front door is. When I'm walking in that house, I need to know exactly where the layout is so I know what I'm doing, so I can sound like a professional and I can take them through the house where I want them to go. It's called pushing and pulling. We'll do a whole class on that. Pushing them, hey folks, once you go right on down this way down here, boom, you're pushing them where you want them to go. So they don't go in the rooms, you don't want them to go in yet, so you can close them at the right time. Or on the other hand, it's pulling. Well, once you come right this way, folks, it keeps them from going down these random hallways. No, come right this way. I'm going to show you this here, and then I'll let you go on your own. You're never letting them go on their own, but they get the appearance and the feel that you do. When you're pushing them into bathrooms and other bedrooms, do not go in the room with them. The room's small enough as it is. They don't need you in it with them. Stand at the doorway. Now they can't escape either. You've got them captive, so you can ask the right questions. You start doing this, you'll close at 85%. My dear, you send those 2 agents out for all your buyers. You do not take buyers all over the houses. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You do the listing side of it. Send them out to do the showings for the buy side. Here's a numbers little fun fact for you.
And I have one more question when you get a chance, Curt.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was talking to another team lead, and she says, Mika, when I actually send my agents out to listing appointments, it's not until after they've done 8 closings with buyers.
Say that again.
Some of the team leads are saying that the agents on my team shouldn't go out with listings until they've done a certain number of buyer transactions. So I'm just asking your feedback.
Well, okay. If they're on your team, you do listings, they don't. Now, if they bring it to you, great. You're going to split with them, whatever your split is, that's fine. My agents on my team, right? I have 84. I have 5 that are strictly listing specialists. All they do is listing partners, we call them, right? There's 5 of them. We set up our ISAs, or inside sales agents. They call all day and set up listing appointments for them. Those 5 go on every listing that we have. They just go. Now, I have agents on our team who elevate up. So what we do, the first thing we do is we certify them as showing partners. They're not even allowed to go out and show a house until they've gone and showed either me, or I have 2 sales managers that I hired to take them out and do this stuff with. So that way, because I can't do it all by myself. So what I do is I hire 2 of them. They have to actually take them out and show them a house. Once they certify them that yes, they know how to show a house properly, they know how to ask community, neighborhood, street, house, they know how to show a house and ask the right questions, pushing and pulling. Once they pass that, they're certified as a showing partner. That way somebody else on our team can use them to show a house. Otherwise, they're not allowed to do that part. Now, on the flip side, listings, that's the last thing that they're going to learn how to do. It's the hardest part. It's the hardest part. So you have a team. You're not going to let them go on a listing until you are 100% convinced, and you role play them and you make them pitch you. And would you sign with them? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Would I sign with them to list my house? And until they're good at that, they don't get to go on any listing appointments. You go on the listing appointment. Now they can go with you. I don't really care. And you shouldn't either one together because you want to teach them. But the truth is you're going to do those listings, not them, because you can handle 10, 15, 20 listings at a time. I promise you, you can. Chasing 20 buyers around the same time, that's freaking a nightmare. You got no time, you hate your life. This is where you tell people you're available 24/7. If you say that, you're a shitty agent. Don't do that. You're not available 24/7. There's no freaking way you're available 24/7, nor do you want to be. If you start restricting the time, they will abide by it. They'll follow your lead. You just have to start leading and stop letting them lead you. They're not allowed to lead you. That's not how this works. You lead them. You're the expert. Remember, you're an expert till you open your mouth, say something stupid, and prove to them that you're not, right? So don't say stupid shit. Ask questions. Don't tell them anything. Ask them everything. That's why I said that at the beginning. When you start learning how to ask all the questions, you become a mega monster agent. And they'll always buy with you. They'll never not buy with you, right? That's how that
Thanks, Curt. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, honey. Yeah. And if anybody else is building teams, there's a way, it's by design, right? And the really cool part about EXP, all these cool baller agents out there, man, these guys are badasses. These ladies are killers, right? Talk to them and ask them. They'll show you. I mean, they're better than me. They can teach you all this stuff. I mean, they're awesome. Okay. And that's how you do it. If you guys are interested in attracting agents, how many of you are looking to recruit or add agents or attract agents? Anybody? Some of you guys? Okay. With that, the thing I would recommend and tell you, and I know we're really running out of time, James, but just really quickly, what I do is the first thing I do when I'm having a conversation with them is I ask them, what do hey, I appreciate you meeting with me because you've already got the meeting. So we'll just start from that point. If you want to learn how do I engage with them, that's another day. I'm happy to help in any way I can there. But what I would do is the first thing I would do is I would ask them about where they're at. Well, hey, let's talk about where you're at first. Well, all right, give me your pitch. Give me that EXP thing. And you say, well, before we do that, we're a cloud-based brokerage. How much do you know about cloud-based brokerages? And then they look at you like you have three eyes because they don't know anything about them. And then you say, okay, well, let me just ask you this. Your brokerage right now, right? What's your favorite thing about them? What's the number one thing about your brokerage? And they'll tell you it's the support of the culture. That's what they all say. So you say, okay, so if you had the same support and culture and you felt good about it, it doesn't matter where you work or you'd still stay where you're at. Oh no, I'd stay where I'm at because my culture is great. My broker is awesome. If I call them, they call me back. Okay, great. Awesome. You have a broker that calls you back. Well, if you pay me $20,000 a year, I promise I'll call you back too. Matter of fact, I'll call you every day. I'll call you in the morning, wake you up and say, hey, honey, yes, you are. You're a great agent. Yes, you are. Time to get out of bed. You're going to kill it today. You're going to be the best. Okay. Love you. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll click. For 20 grand, shit, I'll do that every day. No problem. Pay me. Shit, I'll do it for 10. I'll give you a bargain basement deal. Shit, I'll do it for 5. Right? We got a big sale. It's Black Friday, man. I'll do it for 5. Give me 5 grand a year and I'll call you every freaking morning, wake you up and tell you how great you are. It's a joke. Support is nothing. Leads are what matters, right? That's where they live, right? So when I have these conversations with them, first thing I ask them is, look, tell me what your brokerage has to think. Tell me what you know about cloud-based brokerages. And they always say nothing, or they'll stumble on, say some stupid shit that doesn't even matter, but that's fine. And say, well, tell you what, let's do this. Let's start off with who you work for, right? So I want to make sure that we're on the same page so we can have a really good conversation, because if nothing else, right, you and I leave here as friends. And if anything, hey, maybe there's a reason for us to work together more. I don't know. So let's find that out. So let's start off with where you're at, because that's easy. You know where you work, right? And they all say yes. And they say, okay, great. And I say, okay, great. Well, first you have to understand the model you work for. It's a franchise model. And in a franchise model, what's really cool about it is that they go out, right? So if it's Keller Williams or if it's Remax or Berkshire Hathaway, so it's Warren Buffett or Dave Lineker or Gary Keller, whoever it is, right? They went out and got recruited a bunch of people to pay them a bunch of money. And when they paid them that money, what happened was they invested into the company to get an international brand. And then what happened was they recruited a whole bunch of people to pay them millions of dollars, and they bought all these regions within this company that they were forming. So what they did was they recruited them, and then they recruited all these regional people to give them millions of dollars so that way they could have a region. And then what they did was they recruited a whole bunch of franchisees and broker owners to open up all these market centers and franchises. See, so they spent hundreds of thousands, they spent millions to that guy who started the company. Pretty cool model. And that's who you work for, right? And then they look at you and go, well, yeah, because that's how they're all structured, guys. Just so you know, every single one of them is structured the same, right? So, so the way this goes is simple as this. Then you say, now, where do you fall into this? Are you the franchise broker? Oh, you're not, right? Okay. Are you a regional buyer? You know, and you're not. Okay. So you're, the agent, right? You're one of the agents. So what they happened, right? They recruited them, and then what do? Well, they go out and recruit 1 million agents. And I use these terms, guys, because this is the crap they throw at you. This is the crap they go, well, EXP, all you guys are recruiters. Well, here's your company, not mine. This is your company. Looks like every one of your company from the top down is nothing but a giant recruiter. 100% of all the money comes from where, guys? The agents, right? So then you show it to them. This is who you work for at Keller, Remax, Century 21, Berkshire Hathaway, Sotheby's, Christie's. I don't give a shit which one it is. That's who you work for. They're all franchise models structured the same. So what you're telling me is you're 100% of all the money that comes into this pyramid. The problem is you're not part of the pyramid, because the pyramid, all the partners are here. So these are the partners in this thing, right? So the partners get paid your money. It goes up all the way up. They all get a piece of your money and you get whatever's left over. Is that the model you work for? And shut up and make them answer you. And you will see their eyes come out of their head going, yeah, I guess I never really looked at it that way. No shit. Because they don't know any different, because nobody's ever told them different. You say, this is who you work for. Well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is cloud-based. That's the only other thing that there is. So franchise models are crazy, right? So what happens is on these franchise models, they're all structured the same. And that's why agents will literally say, well, I'm going to go from this one and I'm going to go to this one. And I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to go to this one. And they bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. But the reality is the truth. You never make any more money because they're all structured exactly the same. So you can't make any more money. It's not designed that way. It's the exact same, no matter which one. Oh, sure. Well, this broker is a guy and this one's a girl and she's nicer than he is. Awesome. And then they can tell you how much they love you, and their heart beats out of their chest. And like, oh my God, you're amazing. Ugh, garbage. That doesn't make you any more money. So why did you switch brokerages? Unless you hated the broker you had and they didn't tell you how wonderful you were, you switched. Well, you didn't make any more money. You're within one transaction, no matter which one you go to. One transaction at 300 grand is 9,000 in averaging commission. Not one of these will make $9,000 more than the other one because it's a shell game. I don't charge this, but I charge you that. And I don't charge you these fees, but I charge you these fees. It's the same shit. Well, my cap's only this, my cap's only that. It's the same shit. You make the same money no matter which one you're at. It doesn't matter. Flat fee brokerage, low cost brokerage, high cost brokerage, high cap, low cap, fee, no fee, same shit. You make the same money within one transaction of any one of those. That's why nothing changed in your life when you bounce from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage. However, what's any different? You know what's different? What's different is who is the number one name in real estate? Unmute yourself really quick. Tell me, who's the number one name in real estate? Who is it?
Mark Spain in our area, probably.
Okay, anybody else have a thought?
Okay.
Remax, Keller, Sotheby's, Dan, like he's saying. How about if I told you no? And you know what they're gonna say, oh, what's it, EXP? No, it's not EXP. I love that you put it in. No, it's not. And then you tell them that. No, it's not EXP either. It's not Curt Shewell Realty. No, it's not. Number one name in real estate. Guess who it is, guys? Zillow. Zillow. Zillow is the number one name in real estate because they own the mindset of your client. Think about it. When your client goes to look for a home, where do they go? They get online and they go to Zillow.com. They don't go to Remax. They don't go to Keller. They don't go to any of these other companies. They go to Zillow.com. Now, it's even worse. You know why it's worse? Because they own us too. Zillow does. What do I mean? Not by flex teams and all that. And I'm not even talking about that. What's the last thing you do before you walk into a listing appointment? You go check Zestimate to see what Zillow says. Why? Because you know, damn Skippy, your client thinks that's what their house is worth. I went and did this gosh damn CMA, this freaking thick. I got 78 pages printed here. All the reasons why their house should sell for this much money, this amount of time. I'm in a market to be all better. I did all that work, spent 4 freaking hours doing that shit. So I could go see what Zestimate says. Because I'm walking in their house and I'm gonna go fight with them with what? Whatever Zillow says. Because they believe that's what their house is worth. And you better hope to God that Zillow says their house is worth less than what you know you can sell. Are y'all with me on that? Can I get a little amen on that? Like, well, yeah, right? Because that's how this shit works, guys, right? Like it or not, that's a fact. That's just how it is. So unfortunately, this is the world we live in. So Zillow can do this. Why? They can do it for 2 reasons. One, because real estate agents were lazy and we got caught sleeping at the wheel, and a third-party company named Zillow came into town, did all the work that we didn't want to do, called all our clients, did all the hard work to generate all the leads. And then what? They sold it back to us, and now they own us. Now they own our client, now they own us. That sucks. Well, guess what Zillow did? What's the 3 biggest lies in the world? I'll love you forever, the check's in the mail, and that's right, Zillow won't become a brokerage. And all lies. Guess what? Zillow became a brokerage. Yeah, last November. Now they're a brokerage. Why did they do that? Well, they did that because you guys remember Zestimate being all over the gosh damn board? Like, where the hell they come up with these numbers? They're so whacked out. Well, guess what? They did that because Zillow wasn't a brokerage. They didn't have the post-closing data. So they didn't know what happened after the close. They only knew what was for sale. They didn't know what happened after the sale, what it actually sold for. So they became a brokerage so they get the post-closing data because they had to have that data. Thank you, my brother. These guys are bringing, like, I need some juice, right? You guys are bringing me a monster. Thank you, Ron. But oh my, what would I do on this? I'd probably explode. Anyways, so what happens is they go ahead and now they have all this data. So now their estimates are much more in line than where they should be, right? They're not exact, but they're a lot closer than they were. 1 year ago, guys, they were whacked. Today, they're a lot closer because they became a brokerage, okay? And the second reason they did it was they switched their whole format over to what's called Flex. Now they get 1 point. They're doing the same in Op City, and these other companies are doing Home Light and all these other leads. So they take a point, basically they take 35%. So they get theirs off the top, they make a hell of a lot more money doing it that way. So they still need us. The good news is they still need us. So that part helps because they're a cloud-based platform. That's why they're so freaking powerful. Does everybody get that? They're cloud-based. If I said to you, Mr. Century 21 agent sitting in front of me, you guys have one of these things, right? What are these? You guys are probably gonna call it a cell phone. Is that what you guys would say? It's a phone, cell phone? All right, no, it's your life, right? Your entire life is in this gosh damn thing. Oh, by the way, it happens to make phone calls too, and it does video calls, and I can see people like I'm on the gosh damn Jetsons where I hit a button and next I can see people from across the country, weird shit, right? So this thing is your lifeline. What is it? It's a technology company that makes these things, right? Tech companies. What's Zillow? It's a tech company that's got all our shit, right? It's a tech company that's a brokerage. Well, that's pretty dangerous because do you see technology getting better or worse? Getting better, right? Is technology going to stop because Curt Shewell said, hey, I got an iPhone X and the 13 just came out. That means I'm 3 generations behind. I've only had it for a year and a half and I don't even know how to use half this shit. Do they care? No. Is the technology going to keep on going? Again, do you see it getting better? Yeah. Is it going to stop because I got old and I can't keep up? No. And they all agree to you on that. And you say, so could you imagine cloud-based real estate being in our space? Holy shit. The cloud-based companies in every other space dominate and take over all their industries. And we agree that Blockbuster Video is no longer in business? Yeah, because Netflix came to town, right? These are franchise models. Why are every one of these going down in agent count? Because either you're growing or you're dying, right? And make them answer that question for you. Make them finish that sentence because they'll say it. You say, right, now, if I'm a franchise model and cloud-based is in town, if I'm a Blockbuster Video and Netflix is in town, which one am I going to? Am I going to go get a Blockbuster and go join them? Or am I going to Netflix? Right? Knowing what you know. Now, Amazon. Anybody heard of Amazon? Of course, and they say yes. You say, great. Amazon's putting malls out of business because they're closing all franchises. They're putting franchises out of business. They can sell a Coach purse cheaper than Coach can sell a Coach purse. You know why? Because they're a franchise model that has what? All these partners. When you have to pay the partners, you can't make it cheaper because everybody's got to get their piece because they bought their way in. They bought their way into the franchise. You know who didn't? The salespeople. 100% of the money comes from the salespeople. They're the only ones that didn't buy in. Guess what? They're the only ones who aren't compensated. They're not partners. They never make them a partner. Now imagine if you were a cloud-based company and you were able to do what Zillow does. So if you're not a cloud-based company, are you growing or are you dying? You're dying, right? Because you're not cloud-based. So franchise models are all going out of business in every industry there is, including ours. Because real estate now, guess what? All these players are in, right? Who are the top 5 fastest growing companies in our space? All 5 of them are cloud-based real estate companies. Look it up. So they're coming. So guess what? They joined our space. Well, if I want to compete on a cloud-based level, and I want to compete 3 years from today when all these are out of business, yes, I said it, not because Curt Shewell said so, not because I'm the one doing it, because technology is doing it. You said it yourself. You say right back to them. You said yourself, this ain't stopping. It's getting worse, not better. You also said yourself that these are all going out of business, and you work for one of them. You work for Blockbuster Video. Netflix is in town. What are you going to do? Sit there until the door locks and you're the last one out the door? Or do you want to compete? Because what's the first thing you need to be in the new real estate world of today? If you're not cloud-based, you're a franchise model. So if you're a franchise model and you want to compete with Zillow and all the other 5 companies that are growing the fastest cloud-based world, what do you have to be? And you make them say it, cloud-based. You go, you're right. Fortunately for Curt Shewell, and whatever date you started, I don't care if it was last week, last month, last year, or I started 3 years and 5 months ago here. Thank God somebody showed me, Mark Z did, 3 years and 5 months ago, that this shit was coming. I had no idea, just like everybody, all my friends, we all work for franchise models and I owned one. Yeah, I owned one. Thank God he showed me what was coming. 3 years later, over $1 million a year later, that's what they pay me now to do this, right? I learned what a cloud-based brokerage looked like and why they're taking over every industry there is, not just ours. So if somebody would have told you 3 years ago, holy shit, this is what's happening, would you have done what? Well, you would have joined a cloud-based brokerage, no doubt about it. I did. Thank God I did. So here's what's really cool. So today I work for a cloud-based company. Well, how are they really structured? Here's the difference. Why are they so different? It's right here. And you need to understand this. You've got to be able to explain that. This is a franchise model. They get it. These are antiquated and going out of business. And they agree. And you tell them, these are going out of business, right? You know why? Because guess who the 100% of the money comes in here? Who's the only billionaire on the page? Right there. So if it's Berkshire Hathaway, it's Warren Buffett. If it's Remax, it's Dave Liniger. If it's Keller Williams, it's Gary Keller. They all know these names, and you show them. This is the only billionaire on the page right here. But yet 100% of the money comes in here. None of them sell houses. They're just the partners. The agent's never a partner. A cloud-based brokerage is set up different because it's not a franchise. So it's global for one. So one company is cloud-based, and the agents aren't on the bottom. The agents are the top because they're the partners. They are all of this. Sure, we got our billionaires right here. So I use ESP as an example. I got a billionaire too. He sits right here, but all our agents are on top. You know why? Because 80% of the money on every sale goes to the agent, 20% goes to the company. And guess what? Just like over here, half the money gets paid out, right? Instead of these partners, guess where it goes? 50% of the money goes here. In 2021, this year alone, $124 million got paid to the partners. Oh yeah, to the agents. My good fortune for Curt, because I'm a partner, right? Because I'm an agent here. As soon as you close your first deal, you become a partner. The cool part was I kept going with this because I thought it was amazing. And now 2014 or 2019 agents saw the same thing. And what's really neat, my partnership became bigger because I'm 2019 pieces of partnership. So out of that 124 million, the cool news was they gave me one of them. That was kind of cool. So that's how that works. If I could show you why where you work doesn't change and bouncing doesn't change, they're going out of business, which you agreed, you said it yourself, you can see that that's the case. Then you had an option and you had to decide where you're going to work, Blockbuster or Netflix. With Netflix in town, which way are you going? And that's really where I go with them. But you got to start off by talking to them about where they work, not where you work. Do not start talking about EXP because you're going to get into a fight. Well, what's your cap? What's your fee? What's your split? It's got nothing to do with that. Okay? It's got nothing to do with that. So if you want to be good at attracting agents and explaining to them what EXP is about, know what they're about. The EXP piece is easy. Okay? That's a whole different thing. And not for today, it's another day. But when you go to that, all you got to know for that is really simple. It's really simple. All you got to be able to show them then, well, what's the perfect brokerage? Well, first of all, if you're going to compete on a cloud-based platform, what's the first thing you need to be? And you ask them, they say cloud-based. Then you say, great. Well, these are the 5 pillars of what your entire real estate career is based on. These 5 things, these 5 core values of what it's built on. This is your business. And then they'll say yes, right? And you told me that your place gave you support and they love you. Oh my God, they love you. That's so great because you pay them $20,000 for you to do so. Well, do they give you any leads? No. Do they pay for you to be formalized trained? Do they put you in a room with the mastermind and the best of the best? Do they do that? Do they do that and pay for it? No. Okay. Well, if you sell so many homes, you're a baller agent there. Once you hit a certain level, when do they make you a partner? Never. Oh, okay. And then, well, since you are a baller and since you helped them buy their last boat and their last house and all this other cool shit, at what point do they say, hey, we had a great month, so here, we're going to stroke your check for 25 grand. You killed it. You're a baller here. We love you, James. You are the shit. I love you, man. Here's 25 grand. Oh, never? Oh, okay, gotcha. So when they say that, you're like, well, okay. So if your business is based on these five pillars and they don't, well, I guess they don't participate with you in any 4 of the 5. I'm sorry, you said you were there because they love you? Well, shit, like I said, you pay me, I'll call you every morning and tell you how great you are. I'll wake your ass up and tell you you're amazing. Maybe 20 grand. I'm in. Shit, maybe 10, right? So then what you do is you go through each one of these things of how EXP actually works and how they get all 5 of these from day one. Close your first deal, 1 deal. You're an owner of this company. Matter of fact, we'll give you ownership 5 different ways for free. How cool is that? Tell you what, you help as a partner in this company. You're an owner of the company. You're a partner. You bring 1 agent. When they sell a house, I don't care what price that house is, you get paid because you're a partner. How cool is that? You want support? Holy shit, I'm gonna blow your mind with the support. I'm gonna take you into our virtual world. I'm gonna give you 364 admins there to sit and help you all day, every single day. That's support. I'll give you 5 brokers just right here in the state of Michigan alone to help you. That's support. Is that what you're looking for? Oh, no, you really want leads, right? Well, what if I gave you your own very own website with KV Core, blah, 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 the whole thing on KV Core, all the shit you get with it. If I gave you that lead generation system, a CRM system, a branding of your brand, not their brand, where you're on a landing page of some bullshit where nobody can find you, but actually here. And what if I tied it into Showcase IDX, which EXP owns, by the way, you got to know this, which is the IDX feed that everybody pulls from, and you actually got that dumped into your system to where you mirror identically what Zillow has, but you even have more shit on yours than Zillow does. How cool would that be? What if you were in the 3rd largest, fastest growing brokerage in the history of the world, and you were the 3rd largest one today? Oh, by the way, in 3 months, you were number 2, and 1 year from today, you were the largest one in the world. Is that more where you think might be helpful? Is that the support you're looking for? Are those the leads you want? All that shit that comes in through there, through your brand, through your name. So any lead that comes in goes right to you, doesn't go to the brokerage where they decide who gets it. It goes right to you. Would that be okay? What if I was able to give you a ticket to a seat of the baddest ass ballers of this company, and every single week, every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, you can spend 1 hour in a seat with the best of the best in a private meeting just with your group, you only, masterminding with the top producers in the entire company in the whole country of real estate. What would that be worth to you? What would you pay me to get a ticket to that show every week? What if I gave you that? What if I told you the day you started, I'm going to give you 7 ballers, 7 who are financially tied to your future, who financially have an interest and aligned with you to make sure you have success. And the company will pay them a bunch of money, millions of dollars, only if you have success. If you don't sell anything and they don't help you build your business, they don't help you make more deals, sell more homes, build your business, they don't help you do any of that, they get nothing. But if they help you do that, the company pays it. Is that what you'd rather be partners with? Is that who you want? Is that the room you want to be in? And I give you ownership 5 different ways for free. That's the shit you do, guys. So that's a whole nother day we get into deeper and all that stuff. That's the conversation you have with these people, guys. Stop having shitty, stupid conversations about cuts and flat fees and splits and all that bullshit. God, it's horrible. You're having the wrong conversation. You're starting there. Don't do it. Don't you dare start about revenue share. Don't you even talk about revenue share. It's the last piece of the puzzle. It's the last piece I talk about. Because then when they say to me, well, you know, what does that really look like? Well, I don't know. Here, let me show you what mine looks like. I don't know. 80, 90, 100,000 a month. I don't know. That's kind of cool. Not what I was expecting, but I certainly don't have a problem accepting the money. They deposited my bank account every freaking month on the 21st. It's like this weird shit. My wife calls me up. They did it again. They put all that money in there. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm like, I ain't telling nobody. It's great, right? That's the kind of shit that happens, guys, right? That's what this is about. So that's how this works. That blows their gosh damn mind. But before that, you know what I do? Again, know your shit, right? Know your numbers. Here's what I show them. I don't know what the stock will do. I have no idea, but I'll tell you what, your company doesn't give you any. My company gives it to us 5 different ways ownership. And here's what it would look like if you were here in 2015. But I always say, look, that's not fair because that means your stock would be worth $2 million that you didn't pay a dime for, by the way. That's just your 16 grand, right? So here I say, look, I only started in 2018, right? So I just tell them, yeah, so to be fair, right, we'll just start from there. Yeah, it's only worth $1.1 million. I don't know about you, but hey, anybody that turns my 16 grand in for 3 years, which is 16 is 48,000 bucks, and they give me $1 million to trade on it. Yeah, I kind of love those people. So that's the sport I'm looking for. I don't know what you're looking for. Maybe they'll take you for a boat ride on their new boat you bought them. They'll give you a Jimmy John sandwich, tell you freaking rock. They'll love you. They'll hug you. They'll kiss you. Well, you can keep your Jimmy John sandwich. I'll buy it for you with my yacht, right? But I'd rather have the 1.1 million. That's just me. You can keep your Jimmy Johns. I'll take the 1.1. And I can show it to them because it's real. Okay. Okay. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. James, I got love for you, my friend. I know I went long for you. I apologize. I went over on time, guys. I'm sorry if I went too long.
Hey, I've got a quick question though. I missed one of them, Curtis. It's support, leads, paid training, partnership, and what was the 5th one?
Support, leads, training / masterminding, ownership, and revenue sharing in the revenue.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much. You're awesome.
Yeah, nah, Dan, you're the shiz, man. You're a baller, dude. I'm a big fan of
A little
yours.
slow today, so I appreciate the recap.
Man, that was awesome, Curtis. Man, honestly, that was way above my expectations, which I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be like, what it is right now, man. We definitely appreciate you sharing and literally pouring into our group right now. I don't know if you got a few minutes or not. We need to go ahead and switch things up.
Do you have any other questions really quick? I could answer really fast for you.
Anybody got any couple of questions before he goes?
Yeah, ask me anything you want to ask me. It can be on anything. James, here's the truth, guys. I asked James, what do you want to talk about? He goes, anything you want to give a value. I'm like, well, where do you want me to go? He goes, just talk. I said, all right. So that's kind of what you got, me just rambling. So I'm sorry if it got all over the place, but at the same time, what questions do you have?
When can you come
Story of
back?
How you got Tina call?
How did I recruit Tina?
Yeah.
Okay. First thing I did was I recruited GoGo, and then actually let me back up. First one I recruited was Michelle Sayward. So I recruited Michelle Sayward, and then I leveraged Mark because I didn't know Michelle, but I knew Mark did because they used to work together at Coldwell Banker years ago, and they went through all the ferry training together and all that stuff. So I reached out. I asked him, "Who do you know that's a baller?" He goes, "Shit, Michelle Sayward down here, Al Abdello over here." So and so, so and so and so. So I said, all right, good. Give me their contact information. So I sent a text out with Mark on the text, and I said straight out, "Hey, Mark asked me to reach out to you, Michelle. He says that you're the queen of downriver, and we'd like to talk to you just a little bit about this crazy stuff we just did. Mark just moved his brokerage, and we're really excited. We're just looking for other people to partner with and help build their businesses together and have some fun. So we'd love to collaborate. If you got a few minutes, I'll even buy you lunch if that's what it takes." And then she replied back to Mark, not even to me. She went privately to Mark. And she says, "Who the hell is this guy that texted me?" He started laughing. He goes, "That's Curt," as if she's supposed to know me, knowing that she didn't. And she's like, "Oh, okay." Because she didn't want to look stupid and say that she didn't know who I was, because he acted like I was somebody special. And then he said, yeah, come on out to our office and meet us. I got my new office. She says, "Yeah, I want to see your new office. I'm really excited. I saw you did some announcements." What the hell are those letters? ABC or EZZ or something. What the hell is the name of that company of yours? She thought it was his company. She thought EXP was his. So she came out to see our office. And then it was game over. We sat her down in the conference room and didn't let her leave. And she brought her husband with her. And I closed her on the spot. So that's how that one happened. Then Tina Call was somebody that she was good friends with. And we said, "Call Tina and get her on with us." And then she says, "Well, I don't know how to do any of this or explain this." I said, "No, but I do. Get her on the phone with me, get her on a Zoom with me." And that's what she did. So she set her on a Zoom with me, and I closed. Well, it was me and Mark, and then Bettina, she's a baller. She wanted to go to the next level. So then we actually got Dan Beer. He's right above us. So we got Dan Beer on that call with her because he's all luxury and she does a lot of luxury. She wanted to hear about luxury. She didn't want to hear about our shit. So we said, okay. Team wise, she called me back after and said, "Okay, I got the luxury thing. I'm liking this shit. I'm feeling this cloud-based thing. I think it's starting to make sense to me." She said, "Okay, talk to me about how you are gonna help me build my team." I said, "That's easy. I already do that anyway. I'll just do it for yours." So I do a training call you guys are in Eastern time zone, right?
Yeah, Eastern.
Yeah. So what I do is I take all her agents, same as I do anybody in any time zone, but our Eastern time zone, because at 7:30 every morning, I do a training coaching call every single morning, Monday through Thursday at 7:30. You call in. It's our Uber conference line. You call in and you're on. I can see your phone number on the screen. You know, little boxes like this, but they're just phone numbers and your name. So I can see who you are. I can see who's on the call. I just can't see you like we can on a Zoom. And I have, I don't know, anywhere from 80 to 100 agents on the call every day. And we go through just objections and just getting listings. So my girl up top and the two girls on your self team, what we do there, right? It's all about getting listings. So we just work on that. Now, do we do random buyers? Of course. I'll do that role play scripts and stuff with you too. But our scripts, remember, our scripts are the right questions. They're not, you say this, they say that, you say this, say that, all that bullshit, that's garbage. Because if you ask the right questions, you'll get the answers. But if you don't know your script, you don't know the questions to ask, you're not actively listening to them, and that's how you miss. So what we did was I put Tina's people on that call, because the other thing you need is you need agents who sell something, right? So they have to LQA for it. So I put them on those calls and we do that. So I recruited her. Then the next one I went after was GoGo. And same thing. I sent a text to GoGo with Mark on it. "Hey, Mark asked me to reach out to you. blah, blah, blah. You're at the Keller office. We just left. Mark left that office. I helped get him out of there. We went to EXP. We were just talking about different things. You're a social media freak show. I don't even have a Facebook, which was true. I said, I'd love to learn about the social media things. I don't even know how to set it up, much less use it. And I know that you're looking to build a team now. Well, that's what I specialize in, building teams. I know how to do that better than anybody. I can help you because I know something you don't know. You can help me because you know something I don't know. And that pissed her off because I told her I knew something she didn't know. Go-go, if you know go-go, she's a little spitfire, right? So that was the trigger for her to get her to finally meet with us. And that's how that worked. So I got her to sit down with us. Once we sat down, game over, right? So she joined. And then Randy Gammo, which he's a baller. So he was a national real estate franchise. And I've known Randy for years. So I reached out to Randy myself and just said, hey, and I said, listen, bro, I made this big change. You got to see this shit. You're not going to believe this. This is like the craziest shit I've ever seen. Bro, you got to look at this. And that's all I said to him, just like that. And then he's like, yeah, dude, did you join Mark Z? What the hell are you doing that for? You got your own brokerage. I go, yeah, so do you. You got to check this shit out. He goes, I ain't joining Mark Z. I go, hell no. You're Randy Gammo. Why the hell would you join Mark Z? We want Mark Z to work for you. He said, what the hell are you talking about, Curt? And I said, well, here's what I'm talking about. And then I told him, you got to sit down with us, bro. I'm going to show you how we're going to leverage Mark, make his ass work for you. He's like, no way. I said, yeah, bro, when are we meeting? Today or tomorrow? He's like, no, seriously. I go, no, are we meeting today or tomorrow? He goes, really? You're going to? I said, yeah, I'm going to come meet you at 5 o'clock. We're going to have a drink. We're going to sit down and I'm going to freaking blow your mind. And we did. And it took him about, I don't know, 2 weeks to move his entire franchise over. That was cool as hell. So that's how I got those. So I went whale hunting and I went for the whales under myself. And then I took all the individual agents and I throw on Mark. That way he's got his 40 and I'm not quite at my 40, but I've got all the ballers. So it works out good. I make plenty of money and it's all good. And we always add, but what ends up happening, I spend more time adding. So I started bringing a lot of my friends in that I knew in the business. Well, now we all know the same people. So they started bringing the same people that I was calling to the table. Well, I just put them under them, right? If they know them and they got them to re-engage or got them to sit back down with me, then they go under them. And that way, if you help them build it, this goes back to if you help other people get everything that they want, you'll get everything you want. It's a no-brainer. My team, one thing I promised them was I would always help them and I'd never cheat them, and I do. And I help them all the time. I never cheat them. And that's why I've got more people I put under Michelle Sayer than she's got herself. I got people under GoGo because she's got this, internet thing. And she's like, hey, they came to my thing. Great. You sign them up. I don't give a shit. Put them under you. They're under me anyway. Right. And that's why I built it down fast. So if you look at my FLQAs, right, I'm in the 20s with, 35, I guess, on my first level. I got market, 70 something on his front line, and he's got 50 FLQAs. So I keep his FLQAs here. I keep mine. I'm just pushing mine up to there, but I've got all the ballers. So I make more money in rev share than he does, even though he's got 40 and I don't. But I will. I'll just keep slowly adding, because the ones I add typically end up going under my people instead of me, which is fine. I don't care. That's where the money's at. And now they're all happy. And guess what? I don't have to worry about my people.
Hey, man. What's going on? Oops, sorry, 1 second.
Curt, where are you located at? What state are you at?
Michigan. I'm in Detroit. I'm in the D.
Michigan.
Okay, I just put the phone number. That's our conference number. Whoop. I think I sent it to Dan. Sorry, Dan.
Ain't no problem, Chris. I had another call hopping, but I sent you. Oh, you got it. I appreciate that direct message. Is that to the first question or the second question?
Okay, that's the number that's our Uber line. That's our conference line.
Great. That's all I need.
That's our conference line. So that's what you call in the morning, 7:30, Monday through Thursday. If you call on each day, you'll get different. I have a different speaker on Wednesdays. So I have a different coach on there coaching. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, you'll get a variety of my sales manager, Jimmy, my ISAs. You get me, you get Ron, you get a couple of us. And then I'm in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah, me too. All right. So
somebody asked it in the chat. Somebody used to ask it in the chat.
Yeah.
But,
I just put in that number though. There's no code.
No, you just call, you're on the call. Just mute yourself because you come in hot, right?
Yep.
You're coming live. Please mute your phones because all your background, if you're moving around, it picks it up. And it's a little loud for everybody. And then you'll have me yelling at you, mute your damn phone. Now, if I'm on the screen, I can scroll through and find you and I can mute you. But if I mute you, then you can't unmute. So I don't like doing that.
And you do that every day? It's Monday through Friday?
Yeah. On Fridays, we have a podcast. So we do live. We have Jimmy Fantastic and Johnny Awesome. They have their podcast. And that's guys that work for me. So we do their podcast and we promote that on those days. And that's how that works. So,
Hey man, I appreciate that you sharing that with us. I know you gave that to us before, and that is that's a gift. So, and you know, probably not too many people will hop on. So I became aware of that recently when I give out. When I give out that, it's not a problem. But hey, we really appreciate you, and means a lot to us hopping on. And thank you, James, for getting Curtis on. And that was all gold. So let us know, Curtis, if there's anything our group can do for your group at any time.
Always can, man. Anytime we can collaborate, there's always gems. I can learn from every single one of you guys, and I would love to. So
Yes,
I appreciate you guys. On Thursdays, just so you know, we do Triple Threat Thursday. So I take me, Ron, and Jimmy, and we tell if you can stump us with an objection that we can't handle on a listing, I'll pay you $1,000. So bring your shit. We will teach you how to overcome every objection on the planet. We've yet to ever get an objection we couldn't handle, right? So, and we role play it out live for you. All right, you hit us up. You tell me no. Tell me no 75 times sideways, and I'll close you. I'll set the appointment. Remember, you know what agents screw up is what they try to do is they try to close selling the house over the phone. They try to close the listing over the phone. You can't. All you're closing is the appointment. Set the gosh damn appointment. You'll close it when you're in front of them. Just set the appointment. And what happens is agents screw that up, and then you try to close the appointment off an objection. You can't. Isolate the objection, overcome the objection, then you move forward. And that's how we do it. So we'll teach you that kind of stuff. So if you're looking to sell more houses, looking for your team to be more productive, things like that, that's the stuff we teach you on there. And then I have a boot camp 4 times a year. And what's really cool is we started changing it so we even stream it live when we do it. So you guys can actually zoom in and get it live while we do it from, or is everybody, what state are all you guys in?
We all over. I mean, it's literally all over.
Okay, so this is your downline all over the place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's how that works.
just to let everybody know, just a quick little, you know, about Curtis' character. You know, we was leaving Cabo, and we was in a line, and we was doing these zigzags back and forth, and he saw me like, hey man, you a honey badger? Like, yeah, we're a honey badger, you know. So we kind of connected in that way. So the first thing, you know, he started asking me about, you know, the people that I have in my group, and you know, the people that he has in his group, and I'm like, man, you got a lot of folks, and he was just kind of giving me advice of, you know, about what to do and stuff like that. So literally, because we're going in a line, every zigzag, he'll drop a nugget. Then we'll zigzag again. He'll drop a little bit more nuggets. He zigzag again. By the time we got to about the 3rd or 4th zigzag, I told my wife, I said, man, I'm just going to get this guy's number, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to get this information just from doing these zigzags. And he's willing to share. So to his character, he is a sharing guy. So, you know, it meant a whole lot, that the fact that you was able to get on here and share with our group in and of itself, man. So we greatly appreciate it. We don't want to dominate your time. But we greatly appreciate everything. I'm getting text messages and stuff already from people saying how great it was. So yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it 100%.
Glad I can help you guys. If there's anything you need, honestly, like James said, I'm always happy to help. So if there's anything you need, just ask. Okay, that's how this company works.
I'm about to ask. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry, it's breaking up. No, it's easy. What do you got?
Bye. I'm back. I'm saying I'm gonna ask behind the scenes this week. I'm gonna send you an email.
Yeah. For everybody, this recording is going to be replayed back. I mean, you can go jump on Agent Builders Facebook group. That's our Facebook group for our group. If you're not part of Agent Builders, just go ahead and reach out to your sponsor or somebody that invited you, and they'll be able to just send you an invite for that group. We have these every 2nd Friday of the month. Once again, for next month, for December, we're not going to have it. We're not going to have a guest speaker. We're just going to have it where we just kind of, meet amongst ourselves. But going forward, like I said, it will be every 2nd Friday of the month, and just kind of stay tuned to there. And then other training is also on Agent Builders as well. So, once again, I just, like I said, if you're like me, your mind is spinning. So I appreciate it, once again, Curtis, for actually sharing.
Thank you guys. Appreciate all you guys.
I have a quick question before the great minds leave. I'm sorry. My name's Patrick. I have a little situation. I just kind of wanted to hear how you guys would go about it. a client that's interested in a property that seems vacant. And I'm just trying to see how would you guys go about, and I don't want to lose the opportunity because obviously they're ready to buy something. I got the address for it. It's in the country. Sorry for the background. It's in the country, but I looked on Google. I couldn't find any tax records. I don't know any past owners or anything. I don't know how you guys would go about it. Sorry.
You're trying to sell it for them, or you're trying to get your buyer to buy it?
My buyer is interested. Well, I didn't know my client was even a buyer. They posted something on social media asking if anybody knew about this property. And I just, how would you go about engaging that buyer? I couldn't find any information on the actual property.
So you couldn't find a listing on it?
It's not a listing. It's just vacant. I mean, like when I say vacant, abandoned almost.
Okay, you got to go to public records and find who owns it. You'll find out who owns it really quickly through public records. Just find out who owns it. And then you reach out to them saying, hey, I see that you got this property. You know, would you be interested in selling if I was interested in buying? And just do a hypothetical.
We use CRS Tax Suite for our tax records, and I wasn't even able to locate it on that. Is there a different a title company? Okay.
You can go right through title. They'll do a pre-title check on it. Just got to have the address, and they'll tell you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other thing you can always do too is I don't know what state you're in, whatever state you're in, just go into the world, the EXP world, walk into your broker's office and ask him, hey, help me find this thing. I'm struggling. They'll help you.
You said EXP World?
You ever gone in the world, do a little avatar?
I seen the video. I'm new to learning everything, and I seen the video on there. I'll get with my mentor.
Yep, ask there. If you have a mentor, go to your mentor. Also go to your mentor and say, help me find this property.
Roger.
That's your mentor, kind of their job to help you. They'll teach you how to do this stuff, okay?
And he's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal already. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, no problem. That stuff's easy. Anybody else? Question before I take off? You guys are awesome. You guys are a great group. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I love you back.
Thanks again, Curtis. Till the next time. Hey, everybody go out, let's crush it. For the rest of the week, I want to just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. After this, we'll go ahead and go into, the new year and start working on some business planning. I started setting my goals for new year, and we're gonna help everybody to be able to do that as well. So once again, appreciate it. This is one of those if you missed this one, like you missed a good one. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, you missed a really good one. So you all were there. Definitely share with the other folks that this video. Let them know it's an agent builder so they don't miss out as well. But appreciate everybody. Until the next time, happy Friday, happy Thanksgiving. I'm out.